All right, so as you guys know, the College Football Playoff Committee released their final rankings on Sunday. A lot of people were surprised by the bracket. No one more stunned than Notre Dame fans, who were left out of the playoff altogether while seeing Bama, Miami, James Madison, and Tulane get in ahead of them. Since the release, college football Twitter has been on fire with debates and discourse, the lion's share of the attention being on the public, contentious, and messy breakup happening right before our eyes between Notre Dame and the ACC conference. For anyone who doesn't fully know the relationship between the two parties, basically, Notre Dame is a full member of the ACC in all sports except for football. Their football program has remained an independent, which they take a lot of pride in. Despite being independent, part of the contract is that Notre Dame will play on average 5 ACC teams every single year, which is a win-win. Notre Dame gets to maintain their independence, and the ACC schools benefit from having one of the largest brands play against their teams, which provides improved competition, eyes on their games in conference, and ticket sales when the Irish play at their venues. I mentioned earlier we're all sitting around and watching the relationship implode publicly. My question to you would be, does that actually sound like a relationship or seem more like friends with benefits? At least pertaining to football. If Notre Dame and the ACC were a Facebook dating status, they'd be under It's Complicated and recently trending towards Single. The Notre Dame AD, Pete Bavacqua, has been the public spokesman out of South Bend since the team released a statement saying they're shutting down the season, declining all offers to postseason bowl games, which I took a ton of offense to, being the number one fan and advocate of the Pop-Tart Bowl. The level of arrogance you'd have to get an offer to play in that game and tell those breakfast desserts to go look elsewhere. All joking aside, I think Shane Gillis summarized the mood shift pretty perfectly.
Do y'all have projections? What do the boards say? Do you even check into the bowl game projections? Do you even care? Are y'all going to the Gasparilla?
We're staring down the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Oh no! You're gonna eat a live Pop-Tart though?
It's devastating, dude.
Hey, I saw a news release said they got 6 live Pop-Tarts this year, Gillis. 6 of them.
Yeah. I know that's funny. Today, man, that hurts. It hurts. Going from like, yo, we're a contender to just go, Pop-Tart Bowl. You're never gonna see Jeremiah Love run the ball again. It's over.
Bavacqua has been on a media tour for the past 2 days, basically repeating the same statements. The one that has really caught momentum and that most people have been highlighting and addressing is what he said on the Dan Patrick Show yesterday. Take a look.
But we were mystified by the actions of the conference to attack, their biggest really business partner in football and a member of their conference in 24 of our other sports. And I would tell you, Dan, I wouldn't be honest with you if I didn't say that they have certainly done permanent damage to the relationship between the conference and Notre Dame.
What do you mean?
Just we didn't appreciate the fact that we were singled out repeatedly and compared to Miami. Not by Miami. Miami has every right to do that. But it raised a lot of eyebrows here that the conference was taking shots at us. And that's just not something we chose to do. We wouldn't choose to do that in the future, and people might disagree with us, but that's just not something that we'd be comfortable with. And again, we have no problem with any of these teams. These are all great teams. But Dan, you follow this sport so closely. Everybody was saying that we were one of a handful of teams that could win this whole thing.
Yeah.
And now we have 0% chance. Even Nick Saban, nobody knows more about college football, maybe in the history of the world, than Nick Saban. And he said it yesterday, like, how is Notre Dame not in this? I mean, everybody is just kind of confused and perplexed, and we don't have good answers for the kids on our team, for our student athletes.
Are you going to reevaluate your relationship with the ACC, the overall relationship?
I would just say it's been strained.
He made it very clear that the school felt like they were singled out and personally attacked by the conference when they thought they'd be getting their support, which, as a lot of people have pointed out, I have no idea why they had that expectation. So if the ACC gave you their full level of backing and you made the playoff, would you have shared the revenue with the conference like everyone else has to do? For instance, last year you made the national championship. Did any other teams in the conference see a penny of the $4 million from the Indiana game, the $6 million for playing Georgia, and additional $6 million for reaching the championship game? We already know the answer to that. You kept it. Which is fine, you're an independent and that's part of the contract, good on you, but then why did you expect the ACC to prioritize you over getting a permanent and full-time conference football member in is beyond me. Bavacqua also talked about how they felt misled by the committee, considering they were number 9 and thought to be in since day one, which never changed until the last release when they got blindsided, which I do think that's legitimate, but a qualm to be picked with the committee, not the ACC. I think Notre Dame is one of the best 12 teams in the country, and they should have gotten in. I'm not here to dispute that. I just think the school's blame shouldn't be pointed at the ACC for why they missed the playoff. So then this morning I was listening to First Take, and they brought up the AD's comments. Chris Canty started and was giving all his reasons why he agreed with Notre Dame and supported their move to sit out, and noted Bavacqua's comments were justified. That's when Stephen A. jumped in and absolutely eviscerated the school, calling them out for their hypocrisy.
It is clearly understandable why Notre Dame and their athletic director has this level of frustration.
Yeah, he's aggravated.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Hold on, Jeff. I wanted to chime in here. No, it isn't. You couldn't be more wrong, CC.
Thank you.
You couldn't be more wrong. Let me say this to you. They don't have a case. This is very foul comments by Notre Dame. Put on your big boy pants, grow up, and accept accountability for the role you played in all of this. Not just because you're not in a conference, you're an independent. It's because it's only with football. You want to talk about your relationship with the ACC, right? Well, all of these other sports are involved with the ACC. Except football. Oh, we want to keep those dollars for ourselves. Notre Dame don't have to share with anybody. So here you are with your selfish asses. You understand? Out there being an independent, okay? Sitting up there dictating your schedule, having your own media rights deals. You understand? Able to dictate so many things. And the one thing you can't control, you want to whine and moan about it because your team lost head up to Miami to open the season. Games in August counted. You wanted to play it, right? You went out there and played it, and you lost. Then you turn around and you lose to Texas A&M. So you start off the season 0-2. Well, you won 10 straight by an average of 29.7 points. But who did you beat? Your storied victories was over Pittsburgh and USC. There's an APB out for both of those programs when it comes to the college football playoffs. Ain't nobody thinking about them. So what are you talking about? So for him to go to Bavacqua going on Dan Patrick's show, whining and moaning, nobody want to hear that from him. Y'all did this to yourself. I don't believe 2 group of 5 teams belong in there. I agree with what Paul Feinbaum said earlier this morning. He talked about James Madison, Tulane. You respect them, God bless them, but they should not be in the picture. But Notre Dame, you still did this to yourself. You have nobody to blame but you. And then to sit up there and to threaten like, we're going to take our ball and run home. Well, last check when it came to football, you've been doing it. So ain't nobody going to miss you because nobody ever had you because you wanted to be independent. And now it worked against you. Stop whining and moaning and accept the consequences of your actions, Notre Dame. You did this.
Certainly no punches were pulled. But I do agree with everything he said. He's absolutely correct. If you want to be independent, that's great, and it does have its benefits, but there's also some negatives that come with it too, which the school is learning in real time. Social media is pretty split with their criticism and support, which I think is a reflection of how college football fans feel about them as a whole. Notre Dame is one of those polarizing teams in the world of sports that feels like everyone has a side. You either love them or you hate them. For me, I'm one of the few that's never been pulled to one side or the other. I don't particularly like them or hate them, don't root for them or against them. I like Marcus Freeman, but I hated Brian Kelly. So I do get the frustration on both sides. If you're Notre Dame, you feel like your team had drastically improved throughout the season and deserved to be in, and had reason to think you were going to make it going off of all the cues the committee gave you leading up to that final rankings release. Not only did the committee blindside you, but the conference you have a friends with benefits relationship with did you no favors as they lobbied for Miami to get in over you. But then if you're the ACC, Notre Dame is a pseudo member of your conference and picks and chooses to utilize you when it serves them, but then puffs their chest out and shows off their independent status when it's beneficial for them, most notably for the postseason payouts. Bavacqua did make one statement that I do want to point out. He was correct when he said that they're the conference's biggest brand and business partner, which that is true. However, in no way, shape, or form are you bigger than the combined whole of the other 17 full-time members of that conference. Not in terms of revenue, not in terms of brand exposure, and not in terms of postseason representation in football or across all the other sports. So yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about this over the last couple of days, so I just want to make a quick video about it. It'll be interesting to see if there's a ripple effect for Notre Dame and the ACC moving forward, considering all sports, but in this case specifically football. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on for all this? And what did you think of Stephen A. blasting the AD and the school? Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.